A5 Fantasy Looking at You time-lapse tutorial. First clean the iron using clear wax and tissue, and then what I want to do is to lay colours on the iron, cover the iron and create a light filled centre to this card. I'm just smearing all the darker colours around the edges, and there I've got it, something to work into. Now I'll start with the stylus just by blending in colours, picking out shapes. I'm using the stylus to carefully select the colours and sort of blend in with what's already there, and then sometimes to do completely the opposite of that and apply shapes, follow shapes, create patterns. And I'm all the time looking for lines to pursue, working here, there, creating a line, adding a new dimension, highlighting something, putting little spots on for heads for those what could be figures, blobbing on some gold, and I got quite carried away with gold in this whole piece. So I'm lining gold into it at the moment. Castles have always been an easy thing because basically they're tall things with sharp spires on top. And that's how I first started doing them, because I couldn't really draw. Figures, they've always been in my pictures, they always sort of pop up. And then a bit of more bold abstract, tapping with the edge of the iron and then patterning over it in these repetitive shapes that we learn in abstract in order to master the basic skills, to know how to use the iron. Stylus to put on a dark line, and then I thought I'd put in some lighter colours to reflect what was in the centre, but I wasn't really very happy with that. Crayoned a bit of blue on in the end, and then I made this castellated edge. And obviously this is speeded up because it's a time lapse, but I thought that it gave a nice strength to that edge. I liked what I'd done there. The other edge looks weak now, so I'm thinking, what can I do? Started off by putting gold in there. Like I say, I got a bit lost in the gold on this one. And then I switched to pulling some of the colour from higher up in the picture into the lower part, which was looking very dull and grey and overmixed. And that's a good way of getting rid of overmixed and boring areas, just to bring some colour in. If it's too dark, add a bit of white, lighten it up. You can add different colours in as well, it doesn't really matter. And then I found another figure, so I put that one in, and then a bit more gold, highlighting all the time, keeping moving and letting the imagination go. And then I decided, oh yeah, I got to do something on that edge, so heated it, wiped it, and then I thought, oh, gold. I'm into gold on this one, so I'll keep going with the gold. So I layered on loads of gold, and I was actually quite happy then. I felt like it was quite balanced, but I couldn't stop, obviously. I was stuck in gold lines now. Gold, lovely colour to use, going up the other side of that dark line, and that just strengthens the darkness of that line. More lining up there, and that bright colour at the top is just too much, so I needed to get rid of some of it. So I started by putting indigo into that, and then filling in some of the shapes that I created with my gold lining earlier on. And then, well, I had to get rid of that big piece in the end because it's just too bright and it takes the eye, it disrupts the eye, and distracts from looking into the image. What I'm trying to get you to do is to look beyond the castle into what might be there and what's looking back at you. So a few stars, and they're just straight little stipples with silver wax, a little bit more colour to hide whatever's going on in the middle there, some gold tips to those spiky things I did, and then polish. Now when you polish, if you put a little bit of moisture onto your tissue or cloth, it will make it shinier and less marked. So here we are, looking at you. This was a fantasy, spontaneous, done under the camera, done quite fast, and all these figures and ideas really just pop up as I went along. It's what you see when you look that reflects you.